welcome. I am your friend Katie, and I am so grateful you are here today with me. If you're watching this and you have no idea what this is about, this is a new series I'm putting together about the adventure of my husband and I buying land in Colorado to build a dream vacation rental that is completely accessible. Yeah, you heard that right. But this first video is kind of backwards. Let me be clear about that. I have been so up to here with things that I'm doing in my life. I'm writing a book and it's coming out soon. So I apologize that this is coming kind of out of order, but you know what? That's quite literally me in my life. So let's do this. This video is a quick recap, like a high level recap of what has been going on since June of 2025. And it is now December 12th of 2025. There's been a lot. And I apologize, this video is just now coming to you. If you've been on the journey with me since day one, because I know there's a few of you. Thank you, by the way. I am going to do a very high level recap here because this video could be way too long if I go into every single little detail. I am going to break out and do separate videos for all of these little topics, just because then it's easier, and there's good stories in there. There's good stories and they're coming. And not to mention, I have recorded some videos when we've been out in Colorado too. So those are coming as well. Please bear with me. I'm trying to get this other stuff done and it's been taking over my life. So here we go. What all happened? First and foremost, again, I'm Katie. My husband and I, we live in Wisconsin full time for now. And it's been my dream since I was, I think, in high school that I've wanted to live in Colorado. I almost did right out of college and then didn't, and got an interior design job here, and I'm grateful for that. I really am, because if I were to live in Colorado, I wouldn't have met my amazing husband and been around my niece and nephew all these years. So super grateful. And also everything else that's gone on in my life since graduating college in 2012. I know I'm old. I get it. In 2025, actually last year Christmas, Chad and I, that's my husband, I'm just gonna say Chad now. Chad and I decided we wanted to do an experience for my niece and nephew instead of like a bunch of just random gifts and things that they won't remember, right? So of course I asked their parents and they said yes. So we surprised my niece and nephew with a trip to Colorado for their Christmas and birthday gifts. And it was awesome. It was so fun to surprise them. And we had planned on taking them to Colorado for a week, literally the day they got out of school. Like the day they got out of school, they came with me. I think that's how it went. Yeah. And then we flew out that next day. So it was awesome. The trip was amazing. Again, I'll get into that later. But the fun part is on the trip, I did say to them, because I will say Chad and I have been looking for land for the last 2 years in Colorado. We've been out on many trips. We've looked at different areas, found an area that we liked the best. So we did so many fun things with the kids on this trip. And at the end, we're like, hey, we're going to take the last part of the day of before we fly back and go look at some land. And they're both like, okay, cool. We come up onto this piece of property and I fell in love. I was like, I didn't want to show anyone that I liked it, but I was like, oh my gosh, it's like everything we wanted. It's like everything we wanted. This is amazing. And again, I'll go into that story deeper on a different video because again, we would be here for 15,000 years if I told you every story. So Katie, remember, I'm telling myself right now, high level. I'm not good at high level, my friend. I like to get into the nitty gritty. So we saw the land. It was on a Friday. And mind you, Chad and I hadn't talked to our bank, and we did not have a realtor in Colorado. Fast forward, that's part of the story I'll tell later. Fast forward, under a week, we had an accepted offer. That story is insane. So again, wait for that video. It will be coming shortly. So that was the crazy offer. It happened. We had an accepted offer. 6 weeks later, we were able to do the closing, which was on a Friday. It was so nerve-wracking, and I was nervous the whole 6 weeks because I was like, don't back out. Can this go wrong? Like, I really love it. Like, I tried not to fall in love with it, but I fell in love with it. It was all the things. We did the closing. That next morning, we had planned to drive out on our first ever road trip to Colorado with our dog Gage. And we were so excited to bring him out there, be a part of it, and to see where his vacation home's gonna be. Like, I'm so excited. And honestly, he's gonna spend a lot of time there in the next few years as we're building and doing new things on the land. That first trip, we stayed there about a week. We actually stayed not super far away from the land that we bought. And I worked during the day for my day job. And then Chad was on the land cleaning up a lot of stuff because the previous owner did leave some things that's fine, but we didn't want. And we were kind of coming up with like ideas of like, okay, the house could be here. This is where the garage could be. What we learned too in Colorado, fire mitigation is super important. And so we wanted to make sure that we were doing our part because there were a lot of amazing trees. Don't get me wrong. I told Chad every tree he takes down, he has to plant 2 more. So don't worry. We're gonna plant some new stuff, but we did have to take down, we wanted to take down a decent amount of trees. Number 1, to cut in some of the views, and also for that fire mitigation, because they were pretty old pines, and no one wants fires, okay? So we were planning that, coming up with ideas. Chad put the pink like ribbon around every tree. I came out there and I was like, yeah, of course I was freaking out because it was a lot, but now I see the vision. On that first trip, Chad also went and made a lot of connections with like different, like an excavating company and I think a lumber yard, and then met our neighbor that turned out to be a really awesome guy, and he has helped us a lot and is a gem for sure. And I don't know if he met anyone else, any other neighbors on that trip. I don't remember. But it was a really great week. And then we slowly drove our way back to Wisconsin with the dog. And then fast forward a few months, we were kind of planning out like, hey, I think we can get in there and get those trees down this year. We would like to get those trees down this year so we can let the land breathe and kind of get our next game plan. So in those next 2 months, we talked to my parents. They wanted to come out and see the land and where we bought the property, which I'm so excited. And then of course, me being me, I was like, hey Dad, do you want to come out and check out the land with Mom? He's like, yeah, absolutely. I said, cool. You want to, take maybe a couple days and jump in an excavator again? Side note, my dad used to do excavating and bulldozing for years as his actual career. That was a long time ago. So I knew getting him back in an excavator would be like fun again. So yes, it was a loaded question, but he was like, absolutely. And so him and Chad talked about it, what they were gonna need, things like that. And we rented an excavator for 2 days. Chad and I went out again for 2 weeks this time. Again, I worked my day job remotely and the dog was out with us. We stayed at a different place. My parents came out for a week of those 2 weeks and we showed them the land and it was so awesome. Like I said, I have clips and videos of all of that. I will put in another video. They fell in love with it just as much as we did and how much we are in love with it, of course. And so that was really special. Dad got in the excavator. And he helped push down many trees. Chad cut them up with a chainsaw from Wisconsin that really didn't work in elevation, so we learned a big learning curve there. Yay, elevation. To make it very clear as well, in Wisconsin, our elevation where we live is about 1,000 feet above sea level. Not bad, right? Where we bought land is 9,500 feet above sea level. To tell you how much I have to be careful, slow down, my breathing, it's an understatement, but it's totally worth it. And as you acclimate, it does get better. But fun fact, gas chainsaws from Wisconsin don't like to work very well, if at all, in the mountains of Colorado. So we'll be purchasing an electric one. If he hasn't already. He might have, I don't remember. So the second visit, we cut a bunch of views. I'll add a couple images in here. And I cried as I drove up with my mom and I saw that first day. I was in shock. It was even more beautiful than I expected. So it was amazing. On that second trip, we met so many more neighbors, made so many more connections. Our neighbor came over and helped get rid of some of the logs. I think he gave them to people he knows that cut them up for firewood for their home, like stoves and all that kind of stuff. He also helped us get all the brush and all the root balls to the big burn pit in the area that we live, because again, you just can't burn in Colorado, especially in the area we are in. And so they have a pit that they do that. Again, I'll go into more detail. Sorry. See, this is me. I can't stay high level. A disaster. I am not a high level person. Okay, back to it. We were out there for 2 weeks. We loved it. It was amazing. I made some friends in BV or Buena Vista, or as Wisconsin people say, Buena Vista. But learn it. That's wrong. You'll look like you're an out-of-towner if you say Buena Vista like I did and used to. It's Buena Vista, according to the locals. Or, in short, BV. Okay, there's that. But yes, made some friends. I have a coffee barista bestie now. She's amazing. And we connected with some other locals down there because Chad reached out and was making connections. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. So that was an awesome, awesome trip. And then in the meantime from then, I think we were out there in September because it was my mom's birthday when they were heading back, I believe. Yes. So it was end of September when we were there. From then until now, we've been working on permits. We've been working with the utility company or the power company. We need to get power to the land. There is a well on the property, so it's never been used. So everyone, fingers crossed that it's good to go. We got a new permit for that well, which is awesome. I'm trying to think of other things we did. Right now, that's kind of what we've been doing. We're slowly going to try to plan now for the spring because it's winter in Colorado. Weirdly though, as I'm recording this, we have way more snow here in Wisconsin than we do on the land in Colorado. Makes me kind of sad. When we were in Colorado and we were taking the trees down, there's a group, a little family of muley deer that come through and just walk right by you. Go over and eat the leaves off the trees. Oh, we do have an amazing aspen grove on the property. We were out there a little too early to see them fully change. I got to see a little bit of that, which is super fun. And there's so much more fun things on the land that I'll get into later. But also I just want to say we've learned from being out there 3 times within under 6 months and wish we were out there right now is our ongoing love for Colorado. We love it so much. The different trips and the different experiences and the different day trips that we've taken. I took my parents on a couple, and it just fills my heart full of joy and love, and I love it. I know Chad loves it too. He's always like, oh, maybe I should get out there and check on this. And we're coming up with all the excuses of the world to be back out there. The last thing is our next big step, which should be happening now, if not in the next week or so. But I had posted a picture on social media and to my email list. So thank you for being a part of the list and hanging out with me in that community. But we had a picture from a person in Colorado on our land of 3 stakes. And those 3 stakes are the first steps of the power company putting power on our land. So when we go out there this spring, we're gonna have a power pole. It's gonna be great. I'm so pumped. I've never been so excited for a huge power pole before, ever. So pumped. That's our big news. Also, we're working again with the well guy and we're finding out that information. That's kind of ongoing. And then this next spring, we are going to be taking down some more trees, not a ton, just a few, moving a little shed that we have on the property. And we're also going to be getting the land ready, like bringing in fill, doing different things, excavating more, bulldozing some more, that kind of stuff, because Chad wants to work on that this spring and summer into fall. Also, he'll be doing work out there, of course. And we want to get that ready to go through another winter season to settle. And then the plan as of right now, it could change. It definitely can change, okay? But as of right now, the goal is to actually start building in 2027. But there is so much more content, so many more videos and things that I'll put here on this channel for updates. I am going to be starting to do some, when we're out there again, some videos of some day trips and things that we love to do when we're out in Colorado in the area that we bought land in, and just so much more to come. So everything I kind of not really high leveled here today, I will go deeper into these stories because some of them are hilarious and crazy and fun. And so I'm excited to share more about that. And then I will be posting a couple of the videos that I did take when we were out in Colorado. So here's a sneak little peek here of one. Hey, I am here in the middle of the woods in Colorado, sitting on our new property. It's crazy. But thank you so much for being here on this journey. And this is not just a journey for Chad and I, Engage. This is for you too, because we're not building a home to just be ours. We're building it to share it with you too. And I don't mean that in some silly little way like, oh, you get to see it on social media or YouTube. No, it's a vacation rental. That means when it's up and running, and we would love for you to come and enjoy and experience Colorado and fall in love with it just as much as we love it. So we're excited to do that. And I'm saying it here again. It's very important to me that this home is accessible. And what that means is there are going to be no steps into this house. So if you have a disability or you struggle going up and down stairs, which by the way, anyone that doesn't live in the mountains, all of us struggle going up and down the stairs at 9,500 feet above sea level. But we're making this home to not have steps. So it's totally accessible to everyone. And I'll go deeper into that as well. Oh, and lastly, of course, me and my design background, if you did not know, I will be designing the home, and then my husband is actually gonna be building it. So you'll get design progress videos. I've started a little bit. I can't do too much because then I get like locked in and I don't get anything else done and I gotta get this book out. So I have started a tiny bit of brainstorming. It's all up here. I know what I want the house to look like and what I want it to be, but I'm so excited. So thank you. Again, I am so excited for you to be on this journey. And then once it's done, you get to be a part of it and come and visit and stay if you want, of course. Have an amazing day and stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe because there's more coming. And I do have this channel as my main channel. I'm not apologizing for it. There's going to be things on this channel that you're going to be like, wait, what is this about? You can go learn about it. You don't have to watch those videos if you don't want to, but you could because it's pretty cool too. But at least this playlist is all about the design build of our vacation rental in Colorado. I will see you in the next video.